this is a truly remarkable moment for a president who rarely admits to making a mistake. But in this case, the president almost had no choice. The pressure to clarify his conciliatory remarks toward Vladimir Putin became too intense from Democrats, Republicans, and many within his own administration, with critics blasting his performance in Helsinki as everything from a misstep to treason. Under fire for his explosive comments overseas, President Trump now attempting to clarify these words about Russia's election interference.
My people came to me, Dan Coates came to me, and some others. They said they think it's Russia. I have President Putin. He just said it's not Russia. I will say this, I don't see any reason why it would be.
The president reading from prepared remarks Tuesday, now claiming he misspoke.
In a key sentence in my remarks, I said the word would instead of wouldn't. The sentence should have been, I don't see any reason why I wouldn't, or why it wouldn't be Russia. Sort of a double negative. So you can put that in, and I think that probably clarifies things pretty good by itself.
Critics saying the president repeatedly sided with Putin at the summit over his own intelligence experts.
I have great confidence in my intelligence people, but I will tell you that President Putin was extremely strong and powerful in his denial today.
Mr. Trump's remarks on Tuesday briefly interrupted when the lights went out, just as his clarification was getting underway.
Whoops, they just turned off the light. That must be the intelligence agencies.
Meantime, on Capitol Hill, a surge of criticism, including from top Republicans.
But Russia is a menacing government that does not share our interests and it does not share our values. And I think that should be made very, very clear.
A person with direct knowledge tells NBC News top security officials huddled Tuesday for an unscheduled meeting to address the fallout. Vice President Pence and Secretary of State Pompeo had a private conversation with the president, urging him to clarify his comments, according to a source familiar with that conversation.
I accept our intelligence community's conclusion that Russia's meddling in the 2016 election took place.
But in the same breath, the president delivered this aside, undercutting what he just said.
Could be other people also. There's a lot of people out there.
Cameras capturing Mr. Trump's typewritten script, including the president's added handwritten note, there was no collusion.
There was no collusion at all.
And now the president's up this morning and tweeting. Kristen, is he sticking to what he was saying yesterday?
Well, Savannah, no. In fact, he's digging in on what he said initially. The president, in a tweet storm this morning, is anything but apologetic. In one tweet today, he's saying so many people at the higher ends of intelligence loved my press conference performance in Helsinki. Putin and I discussed many important subjects at our earlier meeting. We got along well, which truly bothered many haters who wanted to see a boxing match. Big results will come. The reality is, at least publicly, there were no voices within the intelligence community who came out to defend his comments in Helsinki. And his latest tweets about NATO and North Korea perhaps only adding to the confusion. We will have another chance to hear from him, though, today, Savannah, when he holds a cabinet meeting later on this morning. Savannah, Hoda.
All right, Kristen, thank you very much.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.